All I can tell you, if it were still Lent, I'd have to leave my faith because I need a cockchini today. I'll tell you that much. Still not sponsored, but I absolutely love Spindrift, so we're waiting for their help. If you check out the morning broadcast, which is the Rubber Shoes wrap-up, brought to you by our friends at AAA Work Trucks, they do a great job. Rubber Shoes does a great job. He's here. He's in the Lowell Studios. Little Shoes in the Lowell Studios. And I feel like I want to call her Puss in Boots, but it's Puss in Shoes, or I don't know what's the cat's name again? What's happening?
Jingle.
Puss in Shoes.
What is
Dingle.
it?
Jingle.
I thought he said Dingle. I'm like, nope, not going to do that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, there's a lot going on.
Oh my God! You just dropped her.
Yeah.
She must have jumped. There's a chair here.
What's really funny is Little Shoes. There it is with a can. I was waiting for it. Little Shoes holding that cat. It looks like a kitten. It's probably a lynx, right? It's probably like 18 pounds.
To be fair, it's a pretty small cat.
Yeah, our cat's pretty.
But I know. But you also that also looks like a hand grenade soda, and it's a 12-ounce can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like just
Whatever.
Little Shoes ruins all my idea of like size and scope. Pick the cat up again. Is the cat nearby or the cat quit? The cat's gone?
She escaped. Okay. I can hear her out here.
We've got Corey live from North Kakalaka. You're like, who the hell's Corey? We'll get there in a second. And Adam from beautiful downtown Connecticut.
Yes, hello.
So welcome into the show. If you are checking us out, we appreciate you watching, listening, sharing, commenting. And if Spindrift is around, sponsoring, whatever you want to do. My name's Tim. It is all at atbshow.com. If you go there, it'll take you to our link tree with all the links for all the things. And there's so much to cover. We brought in a fellow green teamer, Corey, and he's keeping the seat warm for our good friend Scotty, sending good juju to him, he and his family,
Yes.
thoughts and prayers. And Scotty will join us when he can. So we saved Scotty's seat, and we said, who else lives in Maine? Stay with me.
Yep.
And
there you go.
a layer deeper. He's had season tickets with the Maine Celtics so long, he's got shirts that have the logo of the Maine Red Claws.
Yes!
He is a Maniac. So Corey Smith joins us. He's in North Kakalaka on business. It looks like a lovely Red Roof Inn that you're staying at, which is very exciting. And hopefully the dial-up holds out so you can hang out for the entire show. So we want to get into a whole bunch of things, but certainly.
Tim,
go ahead.
I just want to just shout out Corey and the Maine Celtics because I still, to this day, I don't think I've seen Corey in probably 10 years, but I still to this day have a Larry Bird bobblehead doll that he got me on Larry Bird bobblehead doll night at the Maine Celtics when they were the Maine Red Claws. So shout out to how long he's been a Maine Red Claws fan and now Maine Celtics, I presume. So
I was once a guest of his season tickets. It's a phenomenal take. In the nicest high school gym in Maine.
Yes.
And I say that with all due respect because anybody who had ever gone to Foxborough before Gillette, Foxborough was the nicest high school football stadium in the state of Massachusetts. So no disrespect, but yeah. And I just wish they stayed the Red Claws.
I like the Celtics.
They kept
like
the weird crustacean logo, but now they're calling it the Celtics. And I don't know, do you give him a shillelagh now? Can he hold it without the opposable thumb? How do you hold an Irish cane with a claw?
The Maine team can be the Celtics.
Now.
The Boston team can be the Red Claws now.
No. Oh God.
Take
Kick
him off the show.
Oh, God.
Kick him off the show.
Jason Tatum, that'd be great. Yeah.
All right, so where do we want to start, boys? I'm going to let you guys drive. I'm going to enjoy my Spindrift. And yeah. We going Celtics first?
Yeah, we got to start Celtics.
Absolutely.
So we got to start with the big drawer.
What's that?
Celtics, Bruins, Sox, Kentucky Derby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh.
It's that time of year.
Pardon me.
Yes,
Where's
it
your
is.
mint julep?
You want me to be the Scotty this week and just break down this game because I did.
And what's the spread on the Mayweather fight? Because you can't have a Kentucky Derby without a Mayweather fight and an arrest at Mohegan Sun with Chad, right?
I think Canelo's fighting, and I think there's a big UFC fight this weekend as well.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to me. Let's go Celtics first. And I guess my fascination is with the contusion to the thigh on Marcus Smart, you would think, because the NBA loves to have an 85-day, 7-game series, you would have thought we would have played tonight. But they had the Celtics play last night, which was just early enough that Marcus didn't feel he was a go. And I truly feel like he's going to play no matter what. So for him to rest last night, he must have not felt great. I never thought we'd get what we got last night with him on the bench. And now we have all this rest time. So talk to me about your predictions for Game 3.
Well, we're not going to break down game 2.
We can, but I want to know what you guys think about game 3.
I'll give you the slight breakdown and then give you my prediction through it.
He's running the goddamn show. Just do what he tells you to do.
I dissected this game because I don't know if anyone else really got to watch all of it.
Oh, I watched the whole thing, baby.
I watched the whole thing.
Celtics playoff game.
I thought Adam was watching
The Connecticut Sun?
Connecticut Sun, whatever the hell.
They haven't started yet.
It's on his second screen. It's on his
They're in
second
the
screen.
preseason. They're in the preseason. Stay with us.
All right, talk to me, Little Shoes.
It's one of those I don't feel the greatest I could after a win.
Oh, interesting.
because-
Okay.
It's more like first half was incredible. We were great defensively. Left Giannis with 5 points in the first. And then the third just bothered me. I feel like this is kind of a trend of what we do. I feel like once we get up a certain amount, we just go back to iso ball and just get nothing out of it. And then Giannis started picking up. I still, like, obviously we won and it was a big margin. But that, like, third going into fourth, like, because when the Stars were, and it probably ended up being like a 12-point game, and then it went back to being 20 when the, garbage time came in. This is kind of a broader prediction. I think we'll split the difference in Milwaukee and go back to Boston game 5, 2-2. So I'll say we win game 3. There you go.
That's what we need. Got to grab one.
Great. I'd say most credit goes to Grant Williams overall. I mean, Jaylen Brown was an absolute menace in the first half, but Grant overall defense-wise and scoring was absolutely incredible and stepped up when he really needed to.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal night.
Yeah.
I do think Rubber Shoes was steaming at the ears in the third quarter. I'm sure of it because they played a lot of isolation ball. And every time they're dribbling, Jaylen Brown does that thing where he puts the ball between his legs for 100 times in a row. Every time I think of Rubber Shoes, and I'm like, oh my God, he's probably throwing stuff at the screen.
I felt like it got to a point where every time Tatum had the ball in his head, he's like, I want to switch on Giannis and cross him out and get a step back 3 so it's all over ESPN. Like, he tried it like 4 times and it didn't work every time. Like, bro, please.
Well, he did have 2 plays down in the fourth quarter. He had 2 really great
those crazy
series. Right? Yeah, where he came down, dribble drove, passed it out, and then replaced the guy that he passed it out to. I think it was Derek White both times, and then he got an open 3 and nailed them both. The problem is that the Celtics are a great 3-point shooting team, as great as they are. If they continue to rely on that, they're not going to knock down as many of those threes in Milwaukee as they do in the Garden. So that's what's the biggest concern for me.
That's my other concern is just while we can easily do exactly what we did last night, we can also try the exact same thing and shoot like
just
5 of 30 from 3,
Well, just like in game 1, right?
Correct.
Right.
They shot awful in game 1 and then they lost.
I think also not exactly a huge thing, but I've noticed now that Pritchard has gotten more minutes, he's been missing a lot more. He's still taking those same confident shots, but he had an awful air ball last night. Which, I mean, he's a young kid.
I think he was a little upset from the previous play that he didn't think he fouled. I can't remember the player that he had. I think it was Grayson Allen, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. The first half was phenomenal, right? But I think in that second half, Milwaukee adjusted, right, which they were supposed to. They're world champs for a reason, right? They're defending world champs, and Jaylen played hurt. I think he got taken out midway through the third quarter and was pulling at that hammy.
Yeah, they're definitely resting him.
Yeah, they didn't have. They were stagnant on offense because everyone else was gassed, right? And I think the Celtics need to keep playing the same game plan. Let Giannis do whatever he wants to do and lock down everybody else.
Yeah, I agree. Giannis is going to score. I mean, be honest. Grant Williams did an amazing job on defense last night, but he's going to get his points. I mean, it's not even like KD in a way because KD is just going to sort of play you from the outside and you can body him up and actually disrupt what he's doing. We don't really have anybody that can match the physicality of Giannis. I mean, Grant Williams does a pretty good job and Horford does a pretty good job, but we don't have anybody that's really going to take him out of his flow for 48 minutes. It's just not going to happen. So, I agree with Corey for sure.
Because the refs allow him to do it. I mean, he just goes and steamrolls people in the paint.
There was that ridiculous – I don't remember the exact players, but legit, I think Tatum drove and got a charge call on maybe Allen, and then immediately Giannis drove and charged someone like much worse.
Yeah,
and
Grant
Tatum
Williams. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
There
the
was
ref
no
thing.
consistency at all.
I keep waiting for Tatum to get the star treatment like KD does and Giannis does.
I don't know why he doesn't.
I'll tell you why he doesn't.
Pissed about it because he got a tech last night.
I will tell you why he does not get that star treatment yet. Because he still, to this day, complains about every single damn call.
Yeah.
And the refs are like, I'm not giving you a call.
That
if you're
is
going to
not the
complain about
reason,
everything.
because every one of those superstars cries. LeBron cries probably more than anyone in the league.
Well, LeBron wrote the book
and he
on
gets
that, though.
he gets it's they're the
Yeah, but
stars
Giannis
cry.
doesn't complain. If you look at Giannis, he
Harden
does not
cries
complain.
every time he gets touched.
But you said KD and Giannis. Neither one of those guys cries to the refs. If you watch the games, every once in a while they'll turn to the ref. But Tatum does it on every call.
Giannis does. Giannis does quite a bit. KD not
No,
really.
I don't think so. I've been watching. I've
They
watched
all-
every
they
game
all-
that
Mike
they played
Stan
them.
just broke off. That's
After
cool.
every play, they turn the ball over and they think they get fouled. They may not be chirping, but they're giving
out here.
the ref the look every single time. They turn around, they look, and they shrug their shoulders and shake their head, just like Tatum does. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just don't think they have let him graduate to that level yet in their minds. They don't think he's allowed to be that.
I don't know. Watch Giannis during the game tomorrow. I mean on Saturday, and you tell me that he complains to the ref as much as Tatum. Don't get me wrong. I love Tatum. I think he's definitely top 5 guy right now, but he complains to the refs way too much. Even Jaylen Brown doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
Little Shoes, I'm not going to tattle on anybody, but your father was in your studio trying to set it up for you before we got started.
He was the engineer.
fine.
I love that
yeah.
he's just holding it like a popsicle stick.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not getting any real noise, so it's okay. But like, can you not just pop it back? What is happening? This is the worst erector set ever. What is happening?
It's broke.
You know, it has the thing where it screws on to the mount, and that since I got it, never worked. So it wasn't really screwed on. It just was standing. So I'd have to mount it back again.
It reminds me of when Kyrie sits down at the podium for his press conferences and then grabs the mic out of the stand.
Oh my God!
2
All
words,
right.
little shoes.
Well-
Duct tape.
While we're under construction, can I rave about somebody? If we weren't all pleased, absolutely, because when he came back and everybody sort of joked about his age, Al Horford looks like
Hell
he's
yeah.
27
Dude.
years old.
Amazing.
Best trade of the year.
I think 25.
All right, Rubber Shoes goes
He looks like-
25.
There we go.
Just because I feel every time I say he looks like he's 10 years younger. That's why I say it's
That was a
amazing.
steal trade right there.
It's
That was a
unbelievable, and I think he knows what he. I think they all realize what they have the opportunity to do, because I think if they do put this series together, which they're capable of doing, my biggest concern is we got such a gift last night with the injury to Marcus and him sitting out. I believe he'll be back. When is it? Next Saturday, or is it a month from now? When's
Yeah,
Game
it's not
3?
this Saturday.
I'm not
This
really
Saturday.
sure. Hi,
Yeah,
Adam
yeah.
Silver. When's the next game? So yeah, this Saturday, dear God.
Thank God for the Googles.
When they have Game 3, I trust he'll be ready then.
Yeah.
I guess that anomaly of what we didn't see from Giannis last night, I guess, is the blessing, right? Because he should have been. I don't know. He is who he is. He's the reason they won the title last year, and he had a really off night. And I just don't know if we get that again in this series.
Well, I don't think it was as much that he had an off night, although he, shooting wise, he did. But sometimes you have to, people were complaining about how bad KD was in the first series.
Yep.
You at some point you have to say it's not that they're playing poorly on defense. I mean, on offense, it's that the Celtics are playing that good on defense.
Sure.
And I felt like last night, especially in the first quarter, but even towards the second quarter and the third quarter, they played really well on Giannis. The only thing that's of concern is, and I'm sure they will figure this out, is when Giannis drives the ball down the floor. I mean, one of their guys has the ball underneath. He sets a screen for them. They do a handoff and then cuts to the rim, and nobody follows the guy that gets the ball, the handoff. And that happened 2 or 3 times down the floor.
Yep.
And that's a problem because, yeah, I understand why you want to stay with Giannis. You don't want him to get a dunk. but you also don't want the other guy to get a layup right in the middle of the lane. And
Connaughton got a bunch of shots off.
yeah, he did. Oh, that's who it was. Yeah, Connaughton, right. So, that's a concern.
He's from Arlington, right? He's from Arlington, Mass, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I was from there at one time.
Like you were, yeah.
You got kicked out.
We were boys.
Was that where the women's prison used to be? What is happening? What?
Oh, when my mother got remarried, we moved to Arlington.
You and Danny went to Arlington?
Yeah, that's where my
lived in,
brother
like, every town
graduated
in
from
Massachusetts.
Minuteman Tech out of
All right.
Lexington.
This is what my mic setup is now, by the way.
This is
That's
going
great.
horribly wrong.
That was Kyrie 101 right there.
Blanked out now.
We have Corey on the show, and he is a bona fide podcast celebrity, and this is what we're showing him. This is what we're
wish
demonstrating.
All his viewers are gonna come over and be like, "Why is he with these schmucks?"
and shame on
exactly.
me. Shame on me. We had some lead indicators that Scotty probably wasn't going to be with us. I reached out. I reached out to Dugan, and Dugan's on the West Coast, working for a broadcast company that makes his politics burn inside, which I take great pleasure in.
Funny.
So he couldn't join us because you got to figure he's at work and it's technically 2:38 on the left coast.
And the Supreme Court is on fire right now. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's not. Yes, there's a lot going on there. We're not going to delve into that.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, what are the chances? I wasn't sure if Corey's face was back home because with Corey's company, he does a lot of traveling. He's currently in North Kakalaka. And I wish I had known because it would have been relatively easy for you, Corey. You have a very similar setup to the other Coreys, all the Coreys. Rubber Shoes and Little Shoes have the Rode Pod mic just like you do. So you could have at least taken
What a
like a
great
desk
pod.
stand
I
and
just
your
know Tim has
Rode
another
Pod
different
mic
podcast
and
every week.
I could have given you a little bit of warning. I didn't. You look great, first of all. We're glad you could
Amazing.
join us.
It's like you've been in the sun a little bit. Have you been in the sun?
It's hot out here. You can't help but be.
I
in the
talked to
sun.
him yesterday. He's like, dude, it's 92 down here. I'm like, it's snowing up here. Shut up. Yeah. Complaining
Nice
about the
snow
weather
showers.
in North Kakalaka. Yeah.
But I was just like Little Shoes. I was yelling at the TV at third quarter during the Celtics game because that ISO ball was driving me bonkers.
Oh yeah.
The worst part is I'm the last person to like talk a bunch of crap and be confident. And for whatever reason, like to my mom, I'm like, "Oh, the Bucks are screwed. We're kicking their ass." And then they start. I'm like, "Oh God, it's gonna be my fault." Because also, I purposely I missed the first quarter and I saw how much we were up. I'm like, if I start watching, they're gonna choke it. I'm like, I got to like maybe 3 minutes into the second. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. And I'm like, oh, they're doing good in the third start. I'm like, oh God, it's all my fault.
Can we talk about that real quick? Like, what is the superstition level in all of our households? I can tell you this.
My father is the biggest superstition ever.
So I can tell you this, and this is like every Patriots game, right? Anytime the Patriots have been in a real close Super Bowl, hang on, let me do the math real quick. All of them, right?
every
All
time.
of them.
Yep.
My wife is candy crushing on her iPad in like a beekeeper's hat in our bathtub. like feng shui with her feet aiming due north.
And she didn't do it for the Giants ones,
It's
right?
this
Is that what
whole
you're
thing.
saying?
It's this whole thing. And one of the last Super Bowls, it was like Monday morning. She's like, "Can I come out yet?" I'm like, "No, I left for work." She was still in there. Yeah. Because she's convinced if she watches it or she's in the same room or like, people have different
Something's
things
gonna
like on
happen,
the
yeah.
couch. I have to be in the middle cushion. So last night for her, she looked up and started watching a little bit and they started to screw up. The ISO ball happened, a couple of turnovers, and she goes right back to Candy Crush. She
that's
blocks it
funny.
out. She does not. She's in the room, but she's not watching. She's near the game, not taking it in.
Well,
That's
it's very funny because. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
Mine's not like that. I have to wear the same Celtic shirt that they win in, and I don't wash it until they lose.
Oh God. You must have
So-
smelled like ass in the 80s. Keep going.
So last night, my hotel is like a little apartment. It has a
Yep.
living room and a bedroom with two
Yep.
TVs. So I started watching it in the living
Switching
room.
back and forth.
I didn't switch back and forth. I stayed in the same seat until halftime.
Oh.
And then I sat on the couch. And then when they started doing the ISO ball in the third quarter while I was sitting on the couch, I went back to sit in the chair.
I love how simple-minded we are. Like my location on planet
Right,
America
really
is
matters.
affecting play in Boston. Yep.
Yeah.
I did this right now. I was wearing, the Paul Pierce shirt I got recently.
Yes.
Sure.
No, you guys have a ton of shirts. I don't know what you're talking
Full
about.
of Paul
Yeah.
Pierce shirts. I mean, come on.
You know my 75th Paul Pierce shirt that my dad borrows on
Right.
Thursdays? Yes, keep going.
It's
yes.
purple with
Yeah.
blue.
That one, I wore
white
that
writing.
3 times during the Nets series, and they obviously won every time.
Sure.
And so I wore it game 1, Bucks, and they lost, so I'm not wearing that anymore. But
Oh,
I
you
have
burned
another one. I don't know if I've worn it on the show. It's like a kind of acid wash-ish one. It's like old school looking. It says like 16 championships. And every time I've worn that, Tatum has scored over 40 points.
Oh.
So that's like the special one. I wore it when he scored like 50 or whatever against the Nets last year, 60 against Timberwolves, and then I wore it game 3 when he had the 42 or whatever.
Well,
So
if
my
you could
question
throw
is,
that
how
on
does
in
it work?
mid-July for Game 3, that would be great.
But
It's
no,
been weird.
I think-
It's been weird for me because this is the first year that my daughters have actually been into watching the games with
Yep.
me. So usually it used to be that I would sit like quietly in the basement watching TV with the Celtics on, not even turned up that loud, just kind of, in my own headspace.
Yep.
And so now it's like this big event in my house because they both love it. So they're on the couch with me, they're talking, everything, so much going on, and I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Every once in a while I have to like put it on mute and be like, guys, you just have to watch the game. I want to hear what the announcers are saying because they're so loud. I love that they're into it. I love that, but it's like, okay, we've thrown the equilibrium off a little bit.
Go ahead,
That
Little Shoes.
reminds me of a rant I need to go on. I'll let you finish if you need
Oh.
to. But this is on the frickin' TNT announcers for
I love that he's
basketball.
waving his mic flag. He has single-handedly destroyed that entire setup. There it goes. All right. Let the cat play with that. Go ahead. Talk about the
I
TNT
don't
people.
even know
Yes.
why there wasn't a Boston version last night. I go on to Sports Boston. They were playing American Ninja Warrior reruns from like 2013.
Yeah, they only get the first round. The
Yeah.
local TV only gets the first round.
So, no, I don't know who was on last night, but they were terrible. I don't know who the hell they were.
Van Gundy.
I think it was Van Gundy. That's it.
yeah, Stan
It was
Van
either
Gundy.
the-
He's good.
It was the third of. It might have been the other dude. Third or fourth, Giannis like took a screen and he matched up on Robert Williams, and he like did a floater to him, and he was like, "Yeah, Giannis needs to keep screening to get that matchup. That's the type of matchup he'd want against Robert Williams." I'm like, "Do you not know who this guy is? He was like the 3rd best defensive player in the league, and then he blocked Giannis, and he was like shocked." I'm like, "This dude's a freaking menace. He doesn't want
Yeah.
that matchup." What?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Robert
also-
Williams isn't a great matchup against Giannis though, because he's so lanky and so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
he can block a shot, but he's not a great matchup. If Giannis
I
came
do
down
wanna
and posted up
mention Giannis.
Robert Williams, it would be a problem.
And
Giannis was scared of Grant Williams by the end there. He kept getting screens to get off of him.
when Derek threw up that alley-oop to him, and he crashed. He didn't crash hard off the backboard, but I thought he dislocated his shoulder because the way his arm went up and he hit the backboard. I thought when he came down at first, I thought he was hunched over like he was injured, and I'm like, oh my god. Can you imagine him getting injured on an alley-oop? I mean, it was good. They didn't clear it though. And then there was that other play where Al went up to protect the rim, and he touched it, and they called assistance, so they waved off the points. Did you see that one too?
Oh yeah,
I forget who shot it. It might have been
Yeah,
been JB.
it was still over the cylinder.
No, I know. It was just annoying. I was like, because at that point of the game, I'm like, we need all the points right now, because it was
Yeah,
it was feeling
the second
crumbling.
half, they only got it down to 12 points, but it felt a lot closer for
Yeah.
most of the
Yeah.
second half. That was
Well,
It doesn't help
they-
that I've seen the Celtics do
but
it
they
so
stopped.
many times.
So the first half, they pretty much play a perfect half, the first half. And then they come out second half, and yes, Milwaukee made some adjustments and was pressured defense a lot more, but they're still trying to do, take the ball into the middle against the 2 7-footers, which hasn't worked in both games. So stop doing it. If you go in there, you got to kick it out. You can't try to go up with it. They've blocked every shot they've tried to throw up inside the paint. But move the ball. They've shown this whole second half of the season, when they move the ball around, nobody can beat them.
Yeah.
I agree.
It doesn't make it, and even like I don't understand why it keeps happening, because it's not like when the second half hit and they were like, all right, we're done ISO, because when it got close in the fourth, they started passing the ball around again and they were scoring again.
Right.
I don't know why
Exactly.
they go off of it.
So I hate to be a Debbie Downer here, but
No, I
do
feel
want-
like that's your role, but go ahead.
It is.
No, that's,
It is
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
it's
Yeah,
your-
I'm-
Central
although-
casting, Debbie Downer. Next.
Except that I don't pick the Red Sox that win like 80 games in the season.
No,
All right,
it was
whatever.
83, and I'm going to
Whatever.
be
What,
spot on.
83?
Are we jumping
Yeah,
to that
right.
now?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're not. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
because
bad.
they're
One
they're
last
tearing the
ring
cover
rant.
off the ball. I forgot.
It's probably
Yeah.
going to be 65 this year, but whatever,
Yeah.
All right. So, but I think we do need to talk about Peyton Pritchard, and we touched on him a minute, and Derek White. So
Okay.
Derek White has been
Awful.
great.
He sucked. He
No,
blows.
he's been great on defense. He's been very good on
Yeah,
defense, but on
I've seen him
offense,
take 50 threes and make one of them.
on offense, he is a liability. He is an
Yep.
absolute liability. And, I don't know who you bring in off the bench for him, to get some
Aaron
offense
Neesmith.
when we're no.
No.
Aaron Neesmith.
No.
Oh, for God's sakes, no.
There's no
For
one.
God's sakes, no. Aaron Neesmith.
Tice hasn't even sniffed any minutes, I don't think, in the
I
first
know.
two games.
They
I
tightened.
don't
They
know.
tightened up the reins on the roster pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only played 7 guys last night before they brought in the guys for garbage time. It was crazy.
All
But
the
Derek
random
White,
white
to me,
guys.
Derek White is like in some ways on the offensive end, he's a poor man's Marcus Smart, or he's like what Marcus Smart was like 3 years ago. Like every time he went up to shoot, you were like, "Oh my God, don't do that! Please don't do that."
I still do
And
that, to be fair.
With Marcus Smart, you still do that?
When
Oh,
he
I don't
takes-
do that
when
with
he
Marcus
just,
Smart
When
anymore.
he just drives, stops, and takes a three, I'm like, why?
Yeah, sometimes his decision making isn't great. And actually, I will say that about Derek White. His decision making usually is pretty good, except that he just can't shoot. I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, I know when he came over, his 3-point shooting was, at a career low
Yeah,
percentage wise.
yeah.
And he just never has caught it back up. I mean, he had a couple of moments, but, he's the guy, or Pritchard is the guy that's going to need to make some shots so we can get a little bit of offense away from Tatum, Horford, and Brown, because those 3 guys, they're the ones that are really carrying us on offense right now. Well, Grant Williams too, I guess. Grant Williams.
I gotta think it's Grant right now, and thank God he stepped up because we got 0 points out of White.
Right.
He had more fouls than he had rebounds. He almost fouled out.
Yeah, he took he did a purpose foul on Giannis when he had already had 4. I'm like, I'm like, we don't have Smart, we need you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say he does make decent decisions on offense. He just doesn't score the ball. So it's like, well, then the Bucks can basically double off of him and not even be concerned at all. He's not even a threat. So
You could
that's
leave him
one
open
thing that
at the
concerns
30.
me when they go into Milwaukee.
Are you doing your taxes, Rubber Shoes? What's happening?
I'm getting my Kentucky Derby picks ready.
Oh my God. He's completely checked. See, he is absolutely still a Lakers fan. Completely
Oh my
checked
God.
out on
He
Team
hates
Green.
The Celtics.
Yep.
He hates the Celtics. What is wrong with him?
So we shouldn't talk about Brian Anderson and Stan Van Gundy. You want to go to the Kentucky Derby?
No, well, we're gonna make our picks for. I know it's still 13 days away, but let's make our picks for Game 3.
Wait, hold on. I think Rubber Shoes wants us to talk about the prospects for the Orlando Magic in the draft this year. Do they have good prospects this year, Rubber Shoes?
He did say that if the Grizzlies won a championship, he'd buy a Jaw jersey.
Oh,
Yep.
for God's sakes.
After last year, he said if Booker won a championship,
Are you wearing the Penny Hardaways you bought on Etsy? Like, what's happening right now in that household?
No,
On Etsy.
There, I broke
right.
him. He smiled. We got him.
There
We got
he
him.
is.
All right, let's go around the horn. We'll start with Corey in North Kakalaka.
My prediction for game number 3.
Yeah. Just up or down.
Celtics.
Don't need scores. Up or down. Okay. Celtics. Okay.
I'll
Go
go
ahead.
next.
Go ahead.
I would say I don't like to pick against us, but I'm going to say the Bucks because it's home court.
Little shoes.
Like I said, I think we either win game 3 and lose the game 4, or lose this one and win game 3. We're winning at least one in Milwaukee. That's all I'm here to say.
It's like when Steven Tyler from Aerosmith pulls the microphone out of the top of the stand, right? We got to get him the flowing scarves to hang from it. Yep.
Like
Dream
I said,
on, dream on.
that would be cool. I should get a string and have it levitate down to me.
Yes. We'll get you.
Yeah,
we'll
you
get you
should.
the pull down mic.
Yes, you
Let's
should.
get ready
Yeah,
to
you can talk like
fumble. Yeah. All right, Rubber Shoes. What do you? Oh, go Little Shoes. Did you make? What did you say?
We don't know.
I said
He says
we're
they
gonna win at least
split.
one in Milwaukee.
I know,
But
but
I'll
what's
say
happening
Celtics
Saturday?
win.
That's the question.
Yeah, Saturday.
What's
yeah.
game 3?
Celtics win.
Celtics win.
All right.
Rubber Shoes. Here comes Lakers
Win.
Lakers
Win.
win. No, what?
Lakers aren't even in the playoffs. Thank God.
Wait, what were the Lakers before they were the Los Angeles Lakers? Weren't they the
Minnesota Lakers.
Minnesota
Mi-
Lakers.
Minnesota.
That's where they
Minnesota,
got
not Milwaukee.
Lakers
Okay.
from.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
they got
right,
Lakers
right.
from.
Okay. So who are you picking, Rubber Shoes?
I got Celtics winning the next 3 games. Boom.
Oh!
Oh,
Wow!
wow!
That is a hot take.
Good night, everybody. Try the veal. Tip your waiters and waitresses.
Because
Good
I'm on
grief.
fire. It's like last week I predicted what the Bruins were gonna do with the defensive pairing, like to the T, and I'm on fire. I'm just what I say goes now.
When we
Rubber Shoes.
Well, now that you
LOL.
acknowledged it, it's not going to work.
yeah, so you throw out 3 straight and they end the series.
Boom.
A gentleman's sweep. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
Now
gonna
we're
go.
gonna get
I'm gonna
gentlemen's
go with a
sweep.
heartbreaking, emotional win for the Bucks at home, which kills me.
Oh.
So yeah, like maybe there's an overtime sprinkled in. I feel like we're due for that. We haven't had any yet.
True.
So,
we
I
did
think
have the
that's
last
happening.
minute, last second win
So I
against
got-
the
so-
Nets, but
Last night I was at the fire station. They won. I'm at the fire station Saturday.
Oh Jesus.
They're gonna win.
boom.
And
Okay.
I haven't looked that far ahead to see when they're probably playing when I'm at the fire station again next week.
The most
Interesting.
important question is, what will you be wearing, or what did you wear last night?
Well, so ever since I've been on the fire department, it has thrown my superstition game way off
Oh,
because
I love all of this.
I can't wear the same jersey if I'm at the fire station. I got
oh, you got to wear your
my,
uniform.
My uniform, so I can't. It's very hard on the brain.
I feel like you have like Celtics underoos though. Do you not? No.
There's got to be. There's
No.
got to be. You don't have any green and whitey, tighty
No,
whities?
I don't have the only undergarment is the socks that match. That's it. Nothing other than
You don't have any Celtics underdingles? No.
no.
We took a hard left on Crenshaw. Wow.
Have you not watched the show before?
Yeah.
Last week we did a deep dive into his closets with
Yeah, we
mother
did.
shoes.
Oh
we
my
did
God,
20
mother-
minutes on jerseys last week.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
but
we
it wasn't
looked at the
underwear.
analytics. We need to have Mother Shoes back more often, for sure.
Yeah, Mother
Yes,
Shoes crushed
yes,
it.
Yes. Awesome. All right, where are we headed next now that we wrapped up our predictions on the Celtics for Saturday?
Bruins.
Well, rubber shoes is on to the Kentucky
Which
Derby.
bad-
No, Rubber
Bad
Shoes.
Boston team
Rubber
we
Shoes
want
was
to talk about.
in the chat. He was very excited that he predicted
Yes.
that Cassidy was going to split the second defensive line, and they did. So he's now Karnak holding index cards
Yeah.
up to his head.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Not
talk
only
to me.
I said it last week, but I also when we got Lindholm, I predicted that they were going to end up splitting them up come playoff time. And last week I said they might play together game 1, but come game 2 they'll have them split up. And I heard yesterday during practice they had already split up. I'm like, wow. And then last week I said that Grizzlick will play with McAvoy and Lindholm will play with Carlo, and that's exactly what they're doing. I was like, I
man.
couldn't have been more spot on. Unbelievable.
So everybody feels like if this goes horribly wrong and they don't get out of the opening round, that Cassidy could be on the hot seat or the out seat. So are you throwing your proverbial backwards Red Sox hat into the ring to be the coach?
Oh yeah. Well, I told Steph yesterday that Don Sweeney's probably going to hire me as a scout now because once
yeah.
he hears this how well I did.
You're finally gonna
But
get Jack Eichel?
But if they lose in the first round, Sweeney's probably definitely gone. He's probably Cassidy may be able to save his job, but I think Don Sweeney, if they lose in the first round, he's done.
Really?
I think you should send a link of last week's show to
Yeah.
Don Sweeney and then see what happens. Just be like, why aren't you hiring me?
Didn't you predict
Yeah.
what went bad?
What?
What the heck?
I said you perfectly predicted what went badly.
Right.
No,
if
I
they
knew.
lose, that's true. If they
Because
lose,
Carolina's very deep, so we're very top heavy with that first pairing. When you had Lindholm and McAvoy, you can shut down one line, but they have to rest, and then the other lines are going to kill you. Although Lindholm was -3 last night. So it looks like they scored when the top pairing was out there. But you have to spread it out because they're just going to get killed. But they played a really good game. The first 2 periods were really good. They just had, the saying, no puck luck. They had plenty of chances, but the goalie was right on everything. And then I'm glad they kept Ullmark going in today because I don't think that was his fault. There was a lot of bad turnovers, which has been their biggest thing the whole season.
For the third goal, that one was terrible.
Yeah. They just have bad turnovers. They played so solid for the first 2 periods, and then they third period just was really bad.
Corey, how close to Raleigh are you? Are you down there long enough to catch a game?
No.
No.
No, I'm in Wilmington.
Wilmington?
Oh, you're in Wilmington. Okay. All right. Interesting.
That's too bad. Rubber Shoes could predict what seat you're going to sit in.
I can't wait to get to the Derby. I feel like he's putting all of his Funko Pops on the line, and he's gonna be like he's gonna pick a mudder called Bence's Hedges or something like that. I can't wait. I'm dying to hear the horse names, but we can keep talking kidding. Bruins. But I'm dying to hear the horse names.
What Rubber Shoes? Do we think the Bruins are going to get out of the first round?
It's going to be tough. Carolina is really good. And if the one flaw they had was that their starting goalie wasn't starting the series, he's going to be out. He possibly could miss the whole series. And what they got out of the backup Ranta the other night was amazing. So if he pulls a Tim Thomas I think they win 2 games. But they won't get out of the first round.
Well, and the goalie's name it's Randa, right? But it's Anti
Ranta.
It's
Ranta. Yeah. Ranta.
Yeah, it's Auntie Rhonda. Like I heard them say it a couple times real fast. I'm like, what is happening right now? Then they threw his name up. I'm like, okay.
Well, then Jack was calling him Auntie Niemi about 20 times too.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, a goalie that retired like 20 years ago.
Yes. Of course he did.
Tim, how much Bruins are you watching at home?
Me?
Are you watching? Yeah, are you watching the whole series or what?
1,000%. Well, so here's the problem. So the other night, I'm on the horn with Isaiah, who when the Bruins let Ray Bork go, because remember Ray left and went to the Avalanche to purposefully chase a cup. And I love Ray, but I don't love that he left to do that. And there's obviously difference of opinion between myself and Isaiah on that conversation. Mm-hmm. Isaiah decided in that moment, and I don't know the exact chronological time frame, but I think he burnt the Bruins in effigy in that moment. Never loved the Bruins, hates the Jacobs, the whole thing. And he's now a full-on Pepsi Center Avalanche fan.
Got it.
So he's like, so when the Avalanche are on, will you root for the Avalanche? I'm like, no, dude, I freaking hate the Avalanche. And I think the fact that you left because he left and like the whole, nope. Wow. I professional sports, Boston, college sports, Boston College. Women's debate team, Boston College. Maroon and gold, red, white, and blue, black and gold, like the whole 9 yards.
I can attest that he.
So I had to watch us lose 5-1 while talking to Isaiah. So you can imagine the joy that was in my body that entire time. Yeah, and he's on Fubo TV. He was about 17 minutes behind me.
Oh my!
Like if you're on Comcast or some other thing, and I have DirecTV, like I know it's all going to get to us at different times.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, no. He's like, what? I'm like, they just scored again. He's like, okay, wait a minute. And I'm like, so the next goal, I was like, count to 58. Count to 58. They score again. He was literally like a solid minute behind me.
Wow.
And that's tough when you're watching with a friend and they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, turn it back on tomorrow. It'll be over. 5-1, empty net goal. Yeah. So
you can watch it with Cheryl.
Tough watch. Oh, sure. Yeah, if you want to, you can go to my parents' house tonight. Cheryl will be watching game 1 later. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She gets so mad when I say that, but she loves to record.
What will she be drinking? That's
and
the
I love
most
that she
important
says,
question.
Timothy, I taped the game. Cheryl, there is no microfiche in that machine.
Yeah.
It's digital.
game.
You know what she haphazardly tells you what she's having for a cocktail. She's
Yeah.
like, because the big news at the Lindsay compound was the fridge is dying.
Oh no.
And how did she figure that out? Well, I was going to get some ice for my Baileys. and she noticed the cubes were sweating. Yeah.
Yes. How are the peep
which
teenies,
sounds
by
like
the
a
way?
metaphor for when Rubber Shoes is wearing his jockey shorts extra tight. Yeah. The cubes start to sweat. But nonetheless, she was grabbing some ice cubes for her Baileys. So that's what she was having the other night. I tell you right now, she's probably not watching the Celtics or the Bruins in real time, even though they're in the playoffs. And NHL playoff hockey is the greatest sport on earth. Done, said, stamped, sealed, delivered. And she will be watching the Red Sox in real time.
Oh, okay.
And then she'll go back and watch the other stuff recorded.
Oh
yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
How were
About that team, huh?
I didn't talk to you since Easter. How are the peep teenies, by the way?
The Peep Teenies were robust. Well, we're drinking them out of martini glasses because they're Peep Teenies, but I was probably, three reloads in.
Yeah.
And I saw the face of baby Jesus because I showed up at 14 Bentley Lane with no sustenance. Not that I was starving. There's enough duck fat here to work for weeks, but I had nothing in my stomach, and then I just went right to.
A peep teenie.
Oh yeah, and
Yep.
there's pictures online.
Oh really?
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
track those down.
we'll post a picture in the liner notes. There's a picture of the decanter. What is I can read you the ingredients if you guys, and then we're gonna get to the ponies, I suppose, because I'm dying to
I
hear
guess.
this. But I have to show you.
Red Sox.
Oh, we'll get to the Red Sox and the ponies. I apologize. Let me read
about
you.
We
Barry-
haven't talked enough
Patriots
about the
draft
Red
picks.
Sox for Rubber Shoes yet.
We
We
will.
need to bury the Patriots draft picks.
What's that?
I don't think we
And the
have time for
Patriots
that.
draft picks as well. You are correct. Yes. Let me make
I think
sure.
that's more important than the crap team we see on MLB right now.
Yeah, it's not great. All right, so
Maybe if you watched last night, you would know they won.
knowing that we had that
Oh, they won
decanter
one
and we were
point.
going to fill it with all that cocktail, I
Yeah.
broke down the math the night before so I could just show up and do it. It was 60 ounces of citron, right? So we had a full bottle of Kettle One lemon, then 2.5 cups of Cointreau, 2.5 cups of lemon juice, and half a cup of simple syrup. And then she had frozen lemonade ice cubes. So we weren't going to dilute it. This was not watered down at all. And then she froze lemons and like strawberries and raspberries.
Oh my
And then
god.
we threw some peeps in to float around.
That's amazing.
And it was
must have been really tart.
They were powerful. Yes, they were very
Yeah.
good. They were very good. But she's
Wow.
probably preparing for pitch number 1, inning number 1 with some Baileys over ice is my guess.
Okay.
Yep. Probably what's happening.
That's the last time I'm doing Easter with my family. I'm driving with you.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, and we're both good because Janina drives. She had to pour me back into the car on the way home. Yeah, it's.
I won't spill anything on your seats once we get
Remember
in there.
that road trip?
That's all I had to say.
Corey and I did a road trip back in like 2004. We're heading out to. We were just aimlessly driving out to the middle of nowhere to go to the Mall of America, and he had just got his car detailed. That was the case, right? Didn't you?
It was spot on detail.
He just got the car
rubbing the
detailed.
surface.
Janina and I are in the back seat, and we just got Dunkin' Donuts. We're about to get on 95 and head west, and we're leaving
yes.
Dunkin' Donuts. And I don't know what I did. I did the trilogy of bodily functions. Like I coughed, farted, and hiccuped at once. I don't know what it was, but a $38 caramel swirl latte with whipped cream
no.
and yep.
All over the car.
And it strategically exploded all over the back seat.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
Yeah. And we're still friends.
You let him back in your car?
And we're still friends. Yep.
We kept on going.
It was 2004 me. You couldn't get me out of the car. You kidding me? It's like a parade float. Yeah. This is me before Fat Watches. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 378 pounds covered in a coffee drink and whipped cream. He's like, we'll just dab it out with some water and some tonic water. Yeah. It wasn't that easy.
That's exactly what we did.
Really?
But hey, it didn't land on the PlayStation that we were playing while Janina was driving.
Yes. So good. So good. What are we doing? Are we Red Sox next, or are we going NFL
go
draft?
for it.
What's next?
NFL draft. Are we really talking about that?
It was bad at the end. All right, Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
Go Red Sox.
I
Go.
love how he's holding his mic.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Red Sox, yes, are second to last place in the AL East, but they won last night to beat the number one team in the AL West, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yes.
The LAAAA. Yeah.
Stupidest team name out there.
Yes.
But and they hit 2 home runs. They played 17 games in 17 days, no days off. Monday was their first day off. They come out, they hit a couple home runs last night. I think they were trending in the right direction. Their starting pitching has been unbelievable. They just haven't hit. Michael Walker's 3-0.
Waka.
He easily fills in for Erod. Pavetta's got to get back on track, but Evaldi's been an ace like you expect.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish they would let the starter pitchers pitch a little further and not
That's why we
go
lose.
into the bullpen as much, because I know their analytics say, third time through the lineup, their batting averages go up by so much, but every time you pull another arm out of the bullpen, you don't know what you're going to get. They could be lights out, or they could walk the bases loaded. You have no idea. You have a guy on the mound throwing right now that you know exactly what he's doing. Maybe they hit a little better off him, but at least you know. Starting pitchers used to be able to work out of problems. They don't let them do that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, they look at the analytics too much is the problem.
Oh, I know. It's killing, and that's what I'm going to get to when we get to football, the draft.
Oh, all right.
No.
Love that.
So, anyone else want to comment on the Red Sox? Because I've spoken my piece. I think they've turned the page. I think they have a much better May than they had in April, and I'm looking forward to it.
They're not in last place. I think currently 10-14. And earlier, Adam got all over my case because I said they were going to win 83 games.
Yeah.
And you're hyper confident that they're going to do way better than that. Yes.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't say that.
What number did you land on? I know. I went really low.
I think I was 87. I think I was
Oh,
87.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
And we had some people that were in the hundreds, which is fascinating.
Oh, did we really?
No, we were all in
No, I
the
thought
90s.
they were in the 90s. I thought they were in the 90s.
Okay. All right.
Scotty was the highest, right? Scotty did like
Yeah, I think
97 or
so.
something.
God bless
97.
him.
I think Scotty was
Yeah,
97.
he's a very big
I was
optimist.
Yeah.
92 or 93.
All right. I'm sticking with 83. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
Corey, what do you think the total win count is? We'll throw you down late.
I don't think they make it out of the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us a number. Pick a number. Throw a number down.
78.
Wow.
You don't think they get into the
78?
80s?
No.
Wow.
I am suddenly the optimist. Wow.
Tim's
I
inviting you
watched a
back.
couple games and I'm just
Corey
like,
goes with a hard 78. I love that.
Wow.
I love that. I want to be wrong. I want the Red Sox to do well. I don't know. I don't see it.
this is not a, next year they'll do better. For whatever reason, this is not their year, and I can tell just by the way they've been playing the first month.
All right.
All right.
Well,
play
Adam
this
hopes
back
they
in
keep
October.
ducking because we'll be talking about this Connecticut Sun in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yes.
Damn right. What's wrong with the Connecticut Sun?
C block. We're gonna drop the Red
No
Sox and
respect
slide
around
in
here.
the sun.
WNBA MVP is on the Connecticut Sun. We should be talking about them more, not less.
There is a full-on shop class going on in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. By the way, I love
Well,
all of this.
So I think,
Oh, I forgot to put the
in order
flag
to
on,
get
damn it.
women's sports, I have to turn the satellite dish the other way, and I'm not going to do it.
Did you get
Oh
the?
my God. Oh
Did
my
he get the
God.
duct tape?
So good.
MacGyver, did you get the duct
Damn
tape?
it.
No, I think he
He's
actually put
using gum, I think.
I think he actually
He's
put the
using
duck
gum.
foot back on the desk, which is incredible. Just like you're at ERZ, back it up. Put the back tire over the duck foot. Live from
look at
State
here.
Street Discount. Yeah, look at here.
I'm fixing to be fixing.
I'm not worried about. Oh my God.
Fixing to be a fixer.
I'm dying to talk draft. Let's go draft. I think we're done on
Are
we're
we?
done on the
Are
Red
we?
Sox. We're done. It's a longer book. We'll talk about the Red Sox later.
Yeah, we're almost. Yeah.
Let's talk draft. And then ponies.
I want all you guys to rip first, and then I'm gonna go.
The only thing I'm going to say, when I guess my biggest shock, and obviously we have the blessing of a couple different radio stations in the area that you can listen to. And Maddie, if you're listening, enjoy your mornings. Did you guys hear about that? Apparently,
yes.
Maddie stepped down the other day, which is sort of incredible. But anyway, above and beyond that, not
in
top
a
40 radio, but
pre-recorded message, nonetheless.
yeah, very weird. Very almost a year after he left the first time. So
Right.
Lord only knows what's going on at the North Shore Music Circus, but Godspeed, Billy. Enjoy your mornings. Local sports radio was making the point, which is super valid. When you heard them trying to talk to Cole Strange about the process, and then there were other interviews that were all over the networks, Boston Sports Tonight and all that kind of stuff, where they were like talking to the head coach from his university, and they're like, so what was the process? As we understand, Matty Patricia is going to be in charge of the offensive line. What kind of vetting did he do? Who did you talk to? And the head coach from Cole Strange's university is like, yeah, I guess they really did the homework. I didn't really talk to anybody from the organization. Our number one pick, and again, maybe it's a great idea. I thought we were going to go to some more severe needs, I guess, like cornerback earlier or wide receiver. The kid we got at wide receiver is really fast. That's great. I guess my one big question mark, because I don't think it was an immediate need, unless they really feel it's an immediate need, that they grabbed Bailey Zappi at quarterback in the 4th round. It wasn't like, let's grab somebody in the 7th round so we can grab a quarterback. They clearly, apparently like what he has, because they spent a 4th round pick on him when we clearly had other needs that we could have. I don't know. It's just, that was an odd choice. They're all odd choices, but I'm going to go back to when I remember when it was, and I'm going to forget the name of the university, Kyle Duggar from.
He was from a Division II school. Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of, so what's Division II, Timmy? I couldn't wrap my head around it last. It's Bowl Championship Series. The BCS is Division I, and Division II is some cockamamie name like that.
The bowl,
now.
well, the BCS is the Bowl Championship Series, and the other one is the oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? They have
Put you on the spot.
Put it in the Googles.
Well, there's the Championship Series and the Bowl. Yeah, BCS. Oh my God, isn't that crazy? Yeah, they call it something different because they don't have a bowl system; they have a championship system. Oh my God. Let's look it up. We're looking it up in real time. Lenore. Lenore was the university that Kyle Duggar went to. So he has taken flyers that have worked out because Duggar's good. I think everybody agrees it was a head scratcher of a draft. And I just confused that we didn't do more to move up and grab somebody that's, I don't know. I don't need them to make a splash, but I wanted to walk away from the draft being like, cool. That was a real building block move. And we had another, okay. I guess, I love it, and I'll keep saying it because I do believe in him, but like the in Bill we trust, I don't say it with the same vigor I used to say it. Like I'm wondering, like, what
have
the
we
hell
ever had a splash of a draft? We've never really had a splash of a draft with Belichick.
I guess not. I guess not.
No, but you had
I mean-
you had a core around the team that you could have some of these draft picks and they'd put them in different locations on the, whether it was offensive line or defensive line, and it worked out. I look at that first pick with Cole, and I'm with Timmy. How do you even come to that? Because every expert that I even looked at had him late, way late in like the 4th round.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. All right, I'm gonna kind of pick apart all of them.
Okay.
Except I like the receiver pick, but first we traded down, which I knew we were gonna do because that's what we always do, and I did like that the Chiefs picked a cornerback with the pick we got from them, which we could have definitely used. Strange is it's a strange pick.
Yes.
One could have gotten him like 3rd, 4th round. Two, I've seen his highlight tape. You can find a highlight tape on YouTube of him getting absolutely demolished at line, like a bunch. He may or may not suck ass. So that's cool. I was cool with the receiver pick. Zap makes legitimately no sense, at least at that point in the 4th round. I just feel like that's just, we had needs that we could have got taken care of for that round. You know what I'm saying? As you said earlier already.
Yep.
So it made, like, there's literally no need for a quarterback, at least at that point where you can get some value in a position you do need. We drafted 2 running backs.
They took Tom Brady in the 6th round when they had Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, but that was the 6th round. I'm saying when you're higher up, you can get a player that you can get use out of in a position we need.
Rubber shoes. We were using the wrong acronym. It's FBS and FCS, the football bowl subdivision and the football championship subdivision. FCS is Division 2.
Yeah, I knew there was something I couldn't come up with it last week.
I know.
Keep going, Rubber Shoes.
I want to hear.
We interrupted your anger, Rubber Shoes. Keep going. Little Shoes. Keep going.
I know our team in the past has loved to have like 50 different running backs for no reason, but it's like we re-signed James White. We have the leader for rushing touchdowns at running back already. We drafted Ramondre Stevenson last year for what we've seen has been quite a stud. I don't see the need. I understand we lost Bolden, but once again, we already have 3 running backs. I don't know why you need 2 more.
Yeah, but just because they draft them doesn't mean they're going to make the team.
I know.
Or even
it's
that
just
they're
more,
signed that they're going to make the team.
Right.
I understand that. It's just I would rather us take a risk on a position we could actually improve on. That's all.
Okay. So their top 2 picks, they loved their RAS. And yes, you can make fun. They had lovely RASs, okay? So RAS is the relative athletic score.
Oh, that's okay.
Analytics.
I know Corey was thinking in sales, your RAS is, or in perception, your RAS is your reticular activating system. Buy a red car, see a red car.
So
Right?
this is RAS, relative athletic score. And I'm going to give a shout out to this because all our millions of fans should check out this guy. His Twitter handle is @MathBomb. That they had these. These are on. This is off of ESPN actually. So they retweeted his stuff. Cole Strange was drafted with the 29th pick of round 1 in the 2022 draft, as we all know. He scored a 9.95 RAS out of a possible 10.
Boom.
That sounds
He also can't block.
This ranked 7th out of 1,298 offensive guards from 1987 to 2022. So this is the analytics they're using, and the wide receiver Tyquan Thornton had a 8.55 RAS, ranked 405th out of 27, almost 2,800 wide receivers from 1987 to 2022. So
can you explain what a RAS is?
So they take the scores of everything. So all the combine stuff, their
Charming good
shuttle
looks.
speeds, the 40 speeds, the bench presses, the broad jumps. Each thing has a score, and then they add them all up and divide it by whatever, and that's your score. So the Strange was 9.95 out of a possible 10.
So I'd be like a 1.2 out of possible 10.
I wouldn't even make it.
Let's not be generous.
Yeah. So they went very analytical. I think Matt Groh has a lot to do with that, and he had a lot to do with the picks. I believe it was Patricia and him had a lot to do because this sounds like a rocket science type formula that Patricia went to school for. So they probably came up with this, and they put a lot of stock in it. So they're either going to be the smartest people in the draft, or they're going to look like donkeys. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that they didn't just reach for a guy that they thought looked good. That they actually put work into it, and we'll find out in a couple months.
Well,
Well,
I know.
I do-
Okay, but in all of that, so now this is where I get concerned because you've got the ability to look at analytics, and at my company when we're working with an individual and when I'm talking to my agents, I have things they do. We use a disc analysis with them. We use a KPA, which is a personality assessment, and I have all those analytics, and those are things that aren't malleable, so they can't really lie to me with that kind of stuff, but I also need to sit with that individual and get their book and get their history of success and understand how they're wired and how they got here. And I'm also, if I'm hiring somebody into my organization, I'm also going to go through a process in which I am investigating them through through references. And I'm going to go 3 deep on those references. And unless the coach at the University of Chattanooga is being dishonest with every media member in Boston, nobody spoke with him about this kid's character. And I'm not questioning this kid's character. He seems like a nice kid. He's like, oh, shucks. I love that about him.
Yeah.
And nobody talked to Chattanooga.
Smells fishy.
So
It's just an odd process. It's a little bit too much.
I think
in the
you
analytics.
are hitting it 100% too, because if you read up the different magazines, the write-ups on a lot of the players that they drafted this year, not so much the first 2, but the ones they took further down, they all had questionable pass. So it's not a guy that they would normally take. So I think they are strictly going with the analytics, and let's see what happens. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and let them. I'm not gonna I was killing them the night of the draft, especially when you stay up till 11 o'clock and they draft back, and you're like, what the hell? Again, I fell for it. But they picked a couple after that, so I still was able to. And then I was like, who?
When 21 went to 29, Janina woke me up to tell me that 21 went to 29. I was wrapped in my Afghan, sound asleep at that point. They'd lost me at 21. So anyway, that being said, I guess my concern, and if they're going full analytics, because yes, back when Myra Kraft was alive, we were worried about everybody had to be an altar boy, and I appreciate they don't have to be an altar boy. I'm not worried about winning the Walter Payton Award. I want trophies and Super Bowls. I appreciate that. And we also don't have the locker room with Teddy Beercan anymore. We don't have the locker room with Tom Brady anymore. We don't have some of these enforcers in the locker room that are going to uphold the standard and the culture. So if we turn it into a village of idiots and the inmates are running the asylum, I think the overall culture of the locker room is going to suffer. And now, I mean, articles here and there, and maybe it's not happening, maybe it is. They're still talking to OBJ apparently. So now you got a bunch of questionable characters coming into the conversation because their numbers are great, and then you insert that asshole because he doesn't care about anything now. He got his ring. He's looking to get paid. He wants to come play with Bill, maybe, and who knows if that's true or not. But if we just start stacking up logistics and we don't tie character and some good people to these numbers, it's not going to go great because you can go in both directions. I was the one that was burning, our dear friend with the chest pack, connected. He's busy now scouting, whatever he's doing for the fucking ears. But whatever he was doing, in the grand scheme of things, I was making fun of him because they were just loading up with talent. And I think you can have too many egos in a locker room, but you can also have too many assholes in a locker room. And I don't think Cole Strange is a bad kid, but if you're, and God bless you, Rubber Shoes, for doing all this research, but if we're getting down to our last picks and their numbers according to this RAS system are great, but they should have been on Dateline 3 weeks ago. I don't know if this is going to be a good football team.
We'll see.
I don't know.
See. Are they ahead of the curve? And the thing, so as we all know, we've all heard, NFL is a copycat league. Everyone's going to the fast receivers, throwing out of to everyone, having the jet sweep. Here they ran the ball.
Uh-oh.
Somebody hold up a microphone.
Right, what's happening? Here's my question. How is Little Shoes Studio okay and Rubber Shoes Studio's going off? Yeah, I feel like Mother Shoes is watching in the kitchen. She's like, dinner's ready, and she's just unplugging people.
So I think the players they took for for the defensive side of the ball is
He's still
going
talking.
to be
He
able
doesn't know
to.
that.
I can hear you guys. You can't hear me?
No, we can now. You
Now you can.
were locking up on
Yeah,
us,
for
buddy.
like 20
Oh.
seconds, it just
Yes.
dead air.
I think the players they drafted for the defensive side of the ball, you're going to see a different type of defensive scheme that we haven't seen yet. Because most
Maybe
of
one,
these,
maybe one that the Lions ran. That'll be good.
Oh
no,
no.
but
Skill of the score.
most of these teams, other than Tennessee that has the big thumping running back, Indianapolis has big thumping running backs. Most of these guys, they're passing to these very fast wide receivers, and especially look at what Miami did. They picked up Tyreek Hill, so I think their defense is going to be set up to stop those teams, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, those type.
Well, hey, if we need a fast
and-
receiver, I heard Henry Ruggs is available. Just give it about.
Because
8
he's
per
always
year.
Belichick has always been ahead of the curve when things start to change. You can't wait for everyone else to make the change. You have to be a step ahead of them. And I think after watching their offense last year, I think they're trying to get a step ahead of everyone else because everyone else is going to have the same exact type of team.
Sure.
He's going to have a different team to combat all those other teams. And we'll see. He's either going to come out smelling like roses or we're going to be like, yeah, he needs to go to the old age home.
Dementia kicking in.
Well, in baseball they called it sabermetrics. Are we going to call it billermetrics? Like, what are we calling this new scheme with
Definitely.
football?
Yeah.
Billermetrics,
Craftermetrics or whatever. All right. Well, awesome. Do you have
What
numbers?
was the name of the tug parlor? We'll call it that.
The what?
Kraft's
Yeah,
tug
right.
parlor.
Oh, the double handy, the four hands.
Yeah.
What was that called? Juniper
What?
Willows. The place
the
that
blossom,
Crafty got the
the
hand
lilac
job before the
blossom.
AFC Championship.
Oh,
Yeah.
What
Hello,
is he
everybody.
talking about?
Hello, everybody.
Be right back.
Just a little to the left, sweetheart.
Yeah, I want to be a sailor. All hands on
The last
dick.
thing I want to hear you
Yeah.
talking about.
God bless them. All right, so do you have a list of ponies and their numbers?
I have all 20 of them.
All right, we're gonna make our Haas
Get it out.
picks, and then we're gonna head off into the sunset.
Oh.
When
Just go through it
when is
quick.
gate time? When is gate time? Is it 5:15, 5:30?
No, usually it's later than that. It's closer to 7 now, I think.
Oh, all right.
It seems to get later and later every year.
All right,
Give people time to get shit-faced.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Get time for me to collect the whole family's
Mint
picks.
juleps. Oh, you got the whiteboard going at the Corey household. I love
Yeah.
all of this. I love all of this. All right, give us the Haas's and the numbers. What do we got?
All right, so we have number 1, Mo Denangle, 10-1.
Winner. What is that? Mo
Go
Denangle?
no further.
Mo Donegal. Donangle.
Mo
Or Dongle.
Denangle.
Yeah. 10-1. Number 2, Happy Jack, 30-1.
Oh.
Number 3, Epicenter, 7-2. Number 4, Summer is Tomorrow, 30-1. Number 5, Smile Happy, 20-1. Number 6, Messier, 8-1.
Nope.
Number 7, Crown Pride, 20-1.
Oh.
Number 8, Charge It, 20-1. Number 9, Tis the Bomb, 30-1. Number 10, Zandon, 3-1.
Nope.
Number 11, Pioneer of Medina, 30-1. Number 12, Taba, 12-1. Number 13, Simplification, 20-1. Number 14, Barber Road.
Oh, I thought it was
30-1.
Barbara. Damn it. What is Barbara?
Barbara.
White Barrio, 10-1.
Okay.
No, number 16, Cyberknife, 20-1.
Jesus.
Number 17, Classic Causeway, 30-1. Number 18, Tawny Port, 30-1.
Careful.
Number 19, Zozos, 20-1. And number 20, Ethereal Road, 30-1.
Ethel Road.
Probably ethereal.
No
ethereal
drinks
road?
in this one this year.
I already got my
Was it-
picks.
There was somebody sandwiched something last year, wasn't there?
Yeah,
What-
yeah.
What was
Yeah,
the
there was-
first
there was
one?
some
What
good
was
ones
the
last year.
first one?
Oh, don't angle. Don't angle.
I'm really disappointed that there wasn't any horses called D's Nuts.
Yes.
I think every year there should be one horse.
Yeah.
These nuts.
Yep. Oh my
All right, I
God.
got my picks.
I got my pick.
So what are you doing, Corey in North Kakalaka? Where are you putting your money?
I'm putting my money on Smile Happy,
Okay.
but my wife wants me to put some money on Charge It.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be Aiden's. Yeah. Dad, where's your card?
Who's
All right.
your card?
Adam, what are you doing?
I was going to do Charge It myself, so I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to go Charge It.
Okay. Rubber shoes.
Okay, I got so to win, I will.
Oh, he's
pick-
doing win play show. He's
Epicenter.
such
and I'm gonna do a.
he's a mudda.
a
And Dugan.
trifecta box with Epicenter, Messier, and what was that other? Crown Pride, Epicenter, and Messier are gonna do a box.
Okay.
So they'll all get a chance win play show.
All right.
Little shoes, you need to win some money because we're gonna get you a new arm for your mic. What's
I was gonna say Epicenter too, but
okay?
yeah, sure, yeah.
Epicenter. Okay. The first one I can't pronounce, but I'll probably end up throwing some money on that. Are we still using that same app we used last year?
Yeah,
Rubber
the
shoes?
Twin Spires.
Twin
Yep.
Spires app. Perfect. Okay. Which brings me to my next question. We'll get there in a second. But I can hear the guy calling Happy Jack and choose my favorite number. So if there was a 22 horse, I'd be all about it. We didn't get to 22. I'm going to go with 2. I'm going to go with Happy Jack. And I have to ask you, our friends in Massachusetts, Little Shoes and Rubber Shoes, did they vote it through? Apparently last Thursday, the State House was talking about gambling, and they weren't going to open it up to college sports and stuff, but there was going to be limited online gambling was getting voted through. Did that happen?
It did get voted through, but it's not active yet.
Okay.
They have to fine tune, what the Senate brought up and the House brought up, so they're gonna get something together. Yeah, there's. I know New Hampshire, you can't bet on the local collegiate teams, so one of them said they didn't want any college sports to be able to be bet on, and one of them said they wouldn't mind having college sports maybe for, like, you can pick them that they're going to win the national championship, but you can't do individual games.
Sure. Okay.
So that they're still tinkering with it. They say hopefully by the end of July it will be a go.
You guys will appreciate this because I never like. I don't like. I think there's just bad juju in betting on the home team. I never typically
same.
do that. I certainly will never bet on Boston College. That's hyper bad juju. And invariably, and you guys all know Coach K. So Kevin Branco, Aiden's godfather, will without fail. And this last time it happened, it was probably not this past fall. Last fall, we were playing Clemson at Clemson, and we just ended up losing with that bad snap and all that stuff. And I'm listening to the game. I'm at Bubba had a lacrosse game. I'm sitting in the parking lot listening to it on the radio. We get to halftime. We are clapping them in Death Valley. And of course he does. He texts me. He's like, dude, I'm so excited. I put X amount of dollars on BC. Go, yeah, kid. And I'm like, as soon as he said that out loud, I'm like, dude, first of all, don't ever text me. The amount of times that Coach K has texted me while I'm sitting in our seats at BC, and he's like, dude, just drop 500 on the Heights. Let's go, kid. I'm like, let's go to the car. Game over,
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, it's the worst juju. So I do appreciate them not wanting to add college sports for whatever reason. At the same time, I sort of, because I don't live there anymore and I don't care, and Cheryl's not worried about it, I sort of don't want them to make it legal in Massachusetts because we gain revenue because you morons have to drive up to get geofenced in New Hampshire and place your bets, buy your cigarettes, buy your alcohols. You come up to 95, you park in our parking lot, buy your booze and your cigarettes, place your bets, and then you head home. So we are going to lose. We're going to lose some green on this one in the grand scheme of things. But
Where do you buy your firecrackers from, Rubber Shoes?
I've never done those. Yeah.
oh my God.
He likes all the things.
One of your fellow
Although,
massholes down in
so,
Westfield.
let's see.
Uncle Chad
Am I
buys
gonna-
all of the
Am I gonna
firecrackers.
throw
when it
this
comes
out
to Manhattan.
there?
Yeah, I'm sure he
I
does.
want to throw this out there.
What's up?
So back in April.
This is a long show.
It wasn't. I don't have
Little,
hours,
little
10
shoes is
minutes.
like we're entering
What is
English
wrong?
patient territory. Yeah. We're about to
I
fade
haven't-
to sepia tone just for effect. Go ahead.
I put money on the Celtics to win it
Oh,
all.
who's
back
banging?
back in April.
Why
You
did
did what
say
now?
that?
Yep.
I did
Rubber
not know
shoes.
Yeah.
Why would you say that out loud? That's what Corey just said. Why would you say that?
Out
That's
loud.
what I asked. I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
There it is.
Hey,
He's a Lakers fan.
I just
He
predicted
jinxed the
them to win
Celtics. He's a
the
Lakers fan.
Bucks in the next.
That's a Lakers
3
fan
games,
move
so.
right there.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear it.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Corey's like, thanks for inviting me on the show. You can all
Yeah,
go
you
to
just
hell.
ruined Corey's life right now.
Awesome. So,
Jeez.
Corey, real quick before we jump off, when are you back north?
Friday morning.
Friday morning. Excellent. All right, and then you guys head to you guys are going to South Kakalaka permanently at the end of June, correct?
Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. So we will have a south of the Mason-Dixon line correspondent for occasional check-ins. Yes.
Oh, excellent.
And he's very excited because they'll be relatively close, so he's going to rush right over to the bookstore and get himself a Cox hat.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna
Because-
say you're gonna
because
be
why
you're gonna
wouldn't
be
you?
A huge,
Yep.
huge game
course.
fan.
Yeah.
Big Cox fan.
And there it is. There it is,
Hey!
everybody. There it
Hey,
is.
And NASCAR is in Darlington, South Carolina this weekend. So
And on a high note,
look
Rubber
to go
shoes.
to
And on a
that.
high note.
Corey's
we
going to
were
head
here,
back
how are you?
downstairs to the hotel bar, go to the men's room, and be like, "Can I get a little help in here?" While wearing his Cox hat.
What's this hole for?
Yeah, yep.
lot-
All of
lot
your
lower
hopes and
now.
dreams. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Thank you for commenting, sharing, and liking the show. You can go to atbshow.com for Corey, for all the Coreys. For Corey in North Kakalaka, Little Shoes, Rubber Shoes, Adam, and myself. All the good juju out to Scotty Dukes. We look forward to getting him back on the show, and we'll see you in and around the internet at atbshow.com. Have a great week.